Hey, what is up? What's going on, guys? Joe here, Radio 690 ADV. How's everybody doing today? Happy Thursday. Video podcast and podcast, because remember, we're always syndicated between our podcast and on YouTube. You can find us on Spreaker, Google Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Anyway, hey, like I said, thanks for stopping in. If you're not part of it, make sure that you smash that subscribe button and hit the like button if you like what you hear. And if you have anything that you want me to talk about or give some information, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. 690adv@gmail.com. And I will do my best to put it up there and get it out there to not just you, but everyone else. Don't forget our website, 690adv.com. And remember, go there, sign up. That way you are registered and you can be in to win when we do our giveaways like we did last week. And congratulations to Joseph in Canada. He did claim his prize and it is being shipped out this week. And he should be receiving that soon. So very awesome and very cool. He got a great piece of camping gear and it's going to come in handy for sure, because you can never have enough gear. That's kind of my thinking on that. Today, we're going to get into adventure riding and camping and kind of a little bit on how to put that all together. It can be pretty cumbersome. Maybe some tips that will help you out to get started if you're new to adventure riding and camping, and it may help you shortcut some of the things that you might take, because you can definitely overpack and make no mistake about it. It is one of those things that you definitely want to pay attention to your gear and the things that you are taking on your trip, because remember, everything that you take, you're stuck with it. Anyway, on the podcast, adventure, travel, and camping, doesn't matter what bike you're on. You could be on KLX 250, CRF 250, so you could be on a 250 bike. You could be on a DRZ 400. You could be on a KLR 650. You could be on a KTM 690 as what I ride. You could be on a Triumph Tiger 800. You could be on a BMW F800. You could be on an F700. You could be on a 1200. You could be, there's so many bikes out there that you could be on. The thing is the bigger the bike, really, the more you can take. And it just makes more sense to be smart about what you pack. And if you're smart about what you pack, your trip's going to be better. You're going to be able to do more things if you have the ability to ride your dual sport or your adventure bike off-road. And you're going to be able to just have a whole lot more fun on your trip. It's just going to make it so much better, because the bike's not going to feel overweighted. And the other question is it you, or is it you and a partner? How are you taking your girl with you? And you see it's out there. Guys do two up with their girls, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like to ride by myself. That's just me. My wife is not one. Her claim to fame is if I can't do it myself on my own motorcycle, I don't want to do it. And I respect that, and I think that's fantastic. So she's slowly learning. And when I mean slow, it is slow, but that's okay. There's no rushing into this. It's better to be safe than to be stupid. But like I said, thinking about how you want to get out and how you want to travel and what you want to take on your adventure is really kind of a big deal. And some things that you definitely want to think about is you want to think about what are the things that are needed, what can you not live without, and what do you think you're going to need in case of emergency. That's really pretty much it. So what we do, we like to do a pre-trip and things like that. We like to get tables, the big fold-out tables that you get at, Costco or Walmart. Heck, you probably have them, for banquets and stuff like that. And what we do is we go and grab our gear. Now, there's certain things that you have to have. You just have to have. So you start with the easy stuff is what I like to say. Start with the easy stuff. And the easy stuff is, are you going to be adventure camping? And if you're adventure camping, guess what you're going to need? You got to have a tent, or do you? But you need some type of shelter. Now, I have guys that basically will roll up in a tarp, and it depends on what your level is and what your commitment is. It's going to dictate, what you're going to sleep in. All right. So I like to say a shelter, tent, tarp, whatever you want to call it. You're going to need some type of sleeping bedding. I like to say you're going to need some kind of a sleeping bag. You're also going to need a mat, a sleeping mat, and it doesn't have to be anything super special. But here's the key. Remember, things can get real big real quick when you're starting to pack it down. So I'm not saying go spend $1 million, but there are ways to go out and get really, really cool gear that doesn't cost and breaks the bank that you can pack down. Now, I'm going to do a segment that will have most of the stuff that I carry, and we've got some gear videos coming up that can save you some money. It's very light. It's proven. It's been out on many, many trips, and you can save a ton of dough if you're going to get out and do it. So a tent, that's one. Two, you're going to need a sleeping bag. If you're going to be camping, that's what we do. That's really, truly adventure riding, is taking it, camping, and being in a different place, usually every night or every other night. Finding, that's what adventures are about. It's about finding areas and seeing this country that you normally don't see in a car, or if you see it, in a full drive. It's having a bike. That's the beauty part of it. So a tent, a sleeping bag, and a sleeping mat. And you don't have to have a tent. I've done it in a bivvy. I've done it in God, so many different tents. And I'm definitely going to do some videos on do's and don'ts on tents, because it can get pretty elaborate on your tents. And you can have the condo if that's what you want. But so you definitely need those. And those are the three easiest ones to have. The other thing that you got to do is, after you figure out your sleeping, do you need a pillow? I take an actual ultralight blow-up pillow. I'm going to do, like I said, some gear videos and talk about that. But you can find them, and they're not too expensive, and they work fantastic. They work really well. They take 2 breaths, they blow up. They're just like a normal pillow, but they're air. They got a little fluff in them, and they pack down to about the size of my fist. And they take up no space, and they're fantastic, and it's like having a pillow. So do you need a pillow? The other thing is do you need a ground mat? Some people say yes, some people say no. So if you don't know what a ground mat is, if you're a new rider or a new camper or new adventure riding and camping, a ground mat is the surface that you lay down first, that you put your tent on top of, so that it protects your floor or your bathtub. That's the deal if it rains, so that way it doesn't come up underneath, and it just makes it nice. Some guys swear by it, some guys don't. So do you need a ground floor? So that being said, that covers most of the basics. Now the next thing is, how are you going to eat? How are you going to eat? And eating is really a big deal, because after riding all day, most people don't realize it, but when you're adventure riding and you're out in it and you're doing miles and you're trying to get from point A to point B to point C to point D and so forth, you're burning calories, and you can truly chew up a ton of energy in your body. And I've learned over the years that you've got to replenish that. So how are you going to eat? Are you bringing packed food? Are you going to stop at a little store and pick it and bring it in? Remember the bungee cord? I talked about that in a video so that you can put groceries. That's what those things are great for. Those cargo nets on the back, they're fantastic for doing groceries and stuff. Or a river bag. You can throw it over there. But are you going to do it at a grocery store and cook it there? And not only that, if you do go buy the food, how are you going to cook it? How are you going to cook it? I use a MSR, which is a pack cooking set. It all folds inside of itself. It's about this big around. It's probably maybe 6 inches around by maybe 4 inches tall, but it's a multi-stacked layered cooking set that I use to cook all my food in. So I could cook, I mean, literally, you're going to have to get some of those calories back, because if you're camping and you're at altitude, you're in Colorado, or if you're in low desert or high desert, you know, when it gets during the day, it can be just nice. But at night, that's where everything changes. It gets kind of chilly. You can get yourself in a nice little pickle if you're not set up right. So you want to make sure that you've got calories in your body so that your body's fueling itself while you're sleeping. I've done it both ways. And I've went to bed with very little food in my body and absolutely just froze the whole night, versus packing my belly and being much more comfortable and much more warm. So if you're bringing that and you're cooking, the question is what are you cooking, and what are you cooking it in? And, you know, and how many people are eating? I mean, and who's helping out bringing it? Like I said, I travel with, you know, a bunch of guys that are great, and everybody pitches in. That's the way it is. Storymoto, Ogman, Mr. Matt Bell, all those guys, Vance, MacGyver, all them, they all pitch in. So everybody brings a little bit of everything, so it really helps out. So the question is, you know, what are you going to bring to cook? And do they have cooking gear, or is it just you going to be the chef at camp? You got to think about that. So with that being said, you know, you can the moral to the story is to pack as light and as tight as you possibly can so that you can enjoy your trip. If you pack too much stuff, you will know that you've packed too much stuff, because as you're doing things and you're trying to find those epic, beautiful places, the bike will be difficult to ride, and do some of those things that you may have to go through. You may have to go through sand, rocks, all that type of stuff to get to it. You see all these beautiful places on YouTube and on Facebook, and you see these guys riding and stuff, and you'll see them on camera going, oh, that's not a big deal. It's more difficult than what that GoPro is given to you and what the pictures are given to you. Understand, if you look at something and you're watching a video and it looks like it's sort of difficult, it is difficult. So keep that in mind. So when you're packing all this stuff, the best thing is to figure out, you know, what type of gear you're going to use to travel with. I use a giant loot bag. I love it. It's fantastic. And I keep it to a certain size. I have a great Basin. That's for my longer trips. And I have a Coyote bag. That is for my shorter trips. And by doing that, I basically have a rule now. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't go. And I have to justify why I want to take it. So I do basically pre-trips. I'll pack everything up. I'll go ride around, you know, my area where I do rant and rides and stuff like that, and see how it feels. And then I'll pull everything back out. I'll drop it back out on the table, and I'll look at it and be like, you know, it's a little heavy. Do I need you? Do I need you? Do I need you? And that's the thing. And it's very hard, because you can talk yourself into almost anything to take it on a trip. Trust me, I've been there, done that. I've been around so many guys, you know, and you're going to have those guys out there that'll tell you that, oh yeah, I do it this way and I do it this way, and if you don't do it my way, you're crazy. Those guys had so many failures, it's not even funny. The guy that basically has it all figured out, that's the guy you need to be weary of, because that's the guy that's going to just tell you that, oh yeah, you got to do it this way. And the thing is, you got to make what works for you, not for him, and not for her, and not for him. It's got to work for you. So that's basically what it is. So the moral of the story is you need shelter, and you need to be able to cook, and you need to be able to haul whatever you have and make sure that you can ride that motorcycle to keep yourself happy on your trip. So those are some of the things. We're going to do some actual videos on our YouTube channel, 690ADV at the youtube.com. And we're going to get into this like packing. We're going to do some packing and stuff like that and show you some of the things that I do. And I'm not saying it's perfect for you. What I'm saying is it's perfect for me, and it does work for me. The other thing you need to think about is where are you going, and you got to have different gear for different terrains. So keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm Joe, Radio 690ADV, and also 690ADV.com. Don't forget, if you like what you hear, smash the subscribe button, give us some comments, give us a like, and let us know what you think, and send us some emails at 690adv@gmail.com, and let us know if there's anything that you want to know, or maybe you just want to pick my brain about going on a trip or doing something. I'd be more than happy to help you out. So these are just some of the things to get you started and get you going, and if you are a seasoned rider, make sure that if you're on YouTube, put those comments down there and help out the other guys, because there's so many guys that need help. I appreciate you. You guys have a great Thursday, and these are some things you might want to think about if you're going to do an adventure travel and pack your gear and actually camp and do all the business. This is just to get you started. This is not to get you going. This is just to get you started and get your brain wrapped around some of the things you definitely want to think about. Like I said, for 690ADV, I'm Joe. You guys have a great Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow on our Rant and Ride. It's going to be a good one. We appreciate you. 690 out.